Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three.
I am super excited about today's topic, sleep. I feel like it is my time to shine because I have never been somebody who liked staying up super late. Even when I was a teenager, I never slept in, never stayed up super late. And I'm like the person who gets giddy when it's bedtime. But in this video, I'm gonna go over a little bit of nighttime routine, and then additionally, I want to talk about some sleep habits, some tips for getting to bed early, etc. Let's get into it. It is officially the next day. I wanted to provide a few tips for good sleep habits. However, I knew if I recorded them, then I would say them later. So that's my own personal tip for you. Make sleep a high priority. So for me, my number one priority every day is working out. If I don't make it number one priority, it's just not gonna happen. And I feel like that's how it is kind of for everyone. And then the second thing is just protecting my sleep. I know I'm somebody who can't get by on a little bit of sleep. I know I'm somebody that doesn't stay up late. It's not for me. So I protect my sleep. Sorry, I don't want to go get drinks late, or sorry, I don't want really anything that's gonna keep me up late. I usually say no to. So the tips that I have to provide are from Dr. Andrew Huberman. He has a newsletter, and that is where these tips are coming from. He also has a whole episode on sleep, and I know he has a guest, Matt Walker, who is a sleep specialist, and I know Matt Walker is on a few other podcasts like Rich Roll. So those are options. Listen to those if you think that you want to learn more about sleep protocol. But real quickly, I'm gonna go through his tips. I think he has 12 of them, and I think that I love them because most of them are free. In today's world, they want to sell you something. If it's online, somebody usually is trying to get you to buy a product. So I like these because this is stuff that's free and honestly pretty simple. Anyone can do it. So, number one, view sunlight by going outside within 30-60 minutes of waking, and then do that again in the evening around the sunset. I think dogs are great for this. If you have a dog, it makes it easy because they generally need to go out at those hours of the day. Number two is wake up the same time each day and go to sleep when you first feel sleepy. I think we push past being sleepy, or we don't even feel the cues that we're sleepy because we are distracted by computers, TVs, phones, etc. And he says something else. He says pushing through the sleepy late evening feeling and going to sleep too late is one reason people wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep. Interesting. 3, avoid caffeine within 8 to 10 hours of bedtime. Matt Walker says you should do it 12 to 14 hours. I'm pretty sure when I listened to Matt Walker in a podcast, he said how the shelf life for caffeine is really long, and how we still have X amount in our system 12 hours later. So that's why maybe it's 10 hours later, but his suggestion is the 12 to 14 hours. Some people might have a really hard time avoiding having caffeine after 2 p.m. because I'm thinking about all the people, like all the fitness influencers who work out and have a bunch of pre-workout at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. But if you're having a hard time sleeping, that's one thing you can do. Number 4, he suggests an app called Reverie. If somebody who's prone to insomnia, anxiety about sleep, or you just have sleep disturbances, this is one product where it has a few free areas of the app, but not all of it. And it is sleep self-hypnosis. Number 5 is avoiding viewing bright lights, especially bright overhead lights, between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. I think this is very well known. I feel like there's so many people who talk about the blue lights and just about how bad the artificial light is for us, and yet we just blow past that and we have bright glow faces, as my mom used to say when I was younger in high school. She'd be like, your face is glowing. You need to put your phone away because it's bedtime. So that's why at night, that's why I have my little rock I turn on over here. Over here I have my alarm clock, and then additionally sometimes I'll just have my headlamp on and I'll read so that I don't have the actual bright light on. Number 6 is limit daytime naps to less than 90 minutes or don't nap at all. He naps 30 minutes to 45 minutes most afternoons, so he loves naps, and it's okay to nap, but just make sure they're to a certain time. Number 7 is that if you wake up in the middle of the night, he has 2 resources. They're both on YouTube, so I'll put them up so you can see what they look like. One of them is NSDR, and the other one is Yoga, I don't know how to say it, Nidra, and it's just free resources. I personally, if I can't fall asleep, I will put on rain sounds in my earbuds, and it does the trick right away for me, thankfully. Moving on, he says expect to feel really alert 1 hour before your natural bedtime. So basically, I think he wants you to feel like it's okay if you feel alert, even though it's kind of close to bedtime, because it is natural and it has been observed in research. Moving on to 9 and 10, keep the room you sleep in cool and dark and layer your blankets. So for you to be able to fall asleep, your body temperature has to drop 1 to 3 degrees. So that's why he wants you to be in an environment where you're not overheated. And then the next one is something that costs a little bit of moolah. He says consider taking like magnesium and theanine. I don't know how to say it. If you want to try a supplement, those are options. But I think it's also well known that some people just don't do well with magnesium. Keep that in mind. Almost done. If you want to get this printout, then I'll also put that information up for the newsletter. And then if you were like, ooh, these are great tips, then maybe have them by your bed or use them as a little checklist to keep you on track. 11, drinking alcohol messes up with your sleep. That is discussed on the Matt Walker episode, and I know that Jennifer Hines, I can't think of how to say her last name right now, she also mentions that in her book. So I just feel like people think they can get by with drinking a bunch of alcohol and sleep fine, but unfortunately it disrupts, I believe, your second half of sleep. And the last one is to know that your sleep is going to change over time. Example he provides is that winter, you might need more sleep than in summer, which is definitely true for me. So I hope these tips have helped you. If you've listened to them, thank you, because I do think it's really good information. And I know so many people struggle with good sleep habits. And I think number 1 or number 2 on your list, make it a priority. That's all for today. Until next time. Thanks.